Hey geek fans, we have another spoiler cast for you. I'm Steve.
I'll go next this time. I'm Andrew.
I'm Cippy.
Whew. What do we got, guys? Obviously, what do we have?
Ferdinand.
Go. All right.
Really excited about that
star.
movie.
Yeah, all
John
right.
Cena.
Star Wars
Oh,
Episode 8 is what we are spoiler casting.
That's not what I saw.
Let's go ahead and start with our
You said
You're gonna be
Ferdinand.
with our spoiler
You're gonna be
free.
totally lost.
Yeah, he went to the midnight showing of Ferdinand last night.
Yeah, it was
Let's
great.
go ahead and start with our spoiler free thoughts. And Sippy, let's start with you.
Spoiler-free thoughts. This is if we look at Force Awakens, a lot of people's big complaint about Force Awakens was that it was treading too much familiar territory. This movie does not. It did a great job. Cinematography, I think, was top notch. I mean, really, Ryan just, I think, pulled it off beautifully with that. Really like the character development in this as well, and generally the story I really like. There's some subplots in the middle that kind of take it down a little bit, but that didn't take away my overall enjoyment of the movie.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, overall, I agree. I think it could stand to lose a few minutes here and there. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And the thing that we were talking about before the movie started was Luke Skywalker saying, "This is not going to go the way you think it will."
He was right.
Mark those words, because it's exactly what it is. I think it's, in a lot of ways, a game changer for Star Wars. There's some new elements, very strong, powerful themes that got introduced in this movie that just have never been there before. Totally original. I still can't quite decide where I rank it in my. It's up there.
I need to see it again to decide that.
I need to see it again to kind of look at a little bit more of the details of it.
Right.
But it's definitely in the upper echelon.
That I had very, very similar thoughts where I really enjoyed it. There were a few places where I was kind of like, oh, where things didn't quite work for me.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. I can't quite place it. And I felt immediately after watching it, I was like, okay, I got to see this again, like right now.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a really good sign. But I'm having a hard time placing it as well. It's kind of like things haven't sunk in
I felt that
enough.
same way after The Force Awakens, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That was the thing for me with Force Awakens. I had knew where I had it on my list actually, and then I saw it 2 more times. Yeah. This definitely positive scores.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I think, okay, so you can see there that we are all feeling pretty good about the movie. Now,
Whoa!
what are we doing?
Hey, look at me, camera. You on me? You locked eyes? Listen up. If you haven't seen the movie, we're about to tread into unsafe territory, okay? You're a bantha, and this is the Wampa Cave. You understand me?
Ooh,
Good.
wow, he's taking it there.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. All right, so let's start with Sippy. Spoiler thoughts.
My first spoiler. Okay. My favorite part of this movie, hands down, was Rey's and Kylo Ren's relationship and character development. That was the best part of the movie. And I think that was obviously the focal point. And that's where it was so much different than other movies. So obviously the big twist here is Snoke gets cut in half.
That one? Okay.
What?
Steve, did you hear me? I like
You gasped.
aloud. I was like, holy shit.
Like I knew like when you had Kylo Ren standing there, and I was like, he's not gonna kill Rey. Obviously he's not gonna kill. He's like, ah! Which one? So really, wow. And
That was huge.
Because they set Snoke up to be. I mean, they call him supreme leader, right? But I mean,
yeah.
with all of his power and with all of his giant hologramming and stuff, and being able to use the Force through a hologram.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the movie with Hux, like that was a big deal. And yet, I mean, he was nothing compared to the rage Kylo Ren had for him. I mean, that was the thing that I don't think Snoke saw, was that a lot of that rage that Kylo Ren felt was directed at Snoke.
Yeah, all he was seeing was him taking out his enemy and then made his own assumptions.
Yep.
And obviously that cost him.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, well, that's the defining moment of this movie, obviously.
Yeah.
When Snoke dies. And then the ensuing fight scene was pretty cool.
That
too,
was sweet.
by the way.
What are the new guards? They're like echelon guards or
The
something?
Praetorian.
Praetorian Guard, yeah.
Okay, they looked really cool. Cool weaponry.
They
on
were
those guys,
cool,
yeah.
and
We finally got to see them fight because we see them in Return of the Jedi
well,
as they're
those are
kind
technically
of.
different.
Yeah.
But they're the same sort of deal. They're there to protect
They're both red.
the Emperor,
They're
and so
both red.
yeah, so they're the same sort of deal.
Yeah.
And I liked Holdo's moment at the end. She got a really good moment there when she destroyed the ship.
Yeah.
That was the most beautiful part of the movie.
Oh, and it was all silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Well, and I loved how
That was
they
great.
toyed with the audience with her too. You're not quite sure. Is she like a spy or
Is
something?
her hair really purple? What is?
Is her
I
neck
don't know.
really that long?
Yes, Laura Dern.
No, they kind of
Yes, it is.
they kind of mess with you, and then they pull the whole mutiny thing, and you think,
Yeah.
all right, here's Poe's moment. He's gonna finally step in and take control of the resistance, and then they again. It's all of these things. Ryan
Let's-
just spun at 180 every.
Let's come back. Let's reel it back. We jumped into the big spoiler. The big
Those are
spoiler
the big
right away.
spoilers.
What was your thought at the moment when he took the lightsaber and
And he
chucked
just
it over the
tossed
back
it.
of his shoulder?
I was
brilliant.
I
Brilliant.
was just what? And I like was laughing, but at the same time I was like, was that serious? Should I?
But that's exactly what I wanted when I saw that Ryan was making the movie. Ryan Johnson. I mean, if you haven't watched any of his previous body of work, if you're not familiar with him at all, go out there right now and watch his previous body of work. Kind
What
of
would
get
you
yourself
suggest?
familiar with it. Oh, God. All of his Breaking Bad episodes are fantastic. Brick is fantastic.
I haven't seen Brick.
They're just the
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt voiced an alien. in
Looper.
this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I don't know which one, but apparently he did. I don't know where.
Well, the thing that I really liked Luke Skywalker's perspective on the Force. That was where I was hoping that they were going to take it, where he had a very different, where it doesn't belong to the dark or the light.
Yeah.
It just is.
Right.
And so I really, really enjoyed that. The thing in the middle that I actually had a hard time with Poe's kind of arc
Oh, really?
because of the mutiny and it not having any consequences.
Oh.
Because he straight up did mutiny against them and put their plan in jeopardy, which was in fact a good plan.
Yeah.
And then there's they're just kind of like, oh, I like him. He's good. It's like I wanted there to actually be more of a, dude, you really did almost screw the pooch. I love the fact that they trick you into thinking that that he's doing what's right.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, no, you're not. You just literally weren't listening to your commanding officer.
Why couldn't she just tell him the plan from the get-go?
Because I think because he had been demoted, and so there was no need for her to share that
The
information.
principle of the thing, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think for me, if he hadn't been demoted, maybe he would have gotten that information. But at that point, you are a brash person. Do as you're told.
I don't know. If there's a plot hole in this movie, you found it.
Yeah, that was my only problem, is that it didn't have that sort of payoff. I do love the fact, but having said that, I love the fact that he is now in charge or for all intents and purposes, the face of the
He's
resistance.
the resistance.
Because he's such a fun character.
Yeah. He's
And
great.
so in that way, that was the one thing that kind of bothered me, but I loved his character. And I agree with you that the character work in this movie was beautiful, and it does set it up for something completely new, completely different.
So I thought this movie was going to answer more questions, but it just gave me more. So the big questions
It
going
answered the one.
So the big questions going in this
Or did
movie
it?
is who is
I hope
what,
so.
What was going on with Luke? Who is Snoke? And who are Rey's parents? So we know what was going on with Luke, right? He
Yes.
ran away.
Which was very tragic. They did a great job of showing that it wasn't
Beautiful.
just that Kylo Ren turned the dark side, that he had a great deal of shame because he was going to kill. He had the thought
he
of
had
killing
this
him.
internal
Yeah.
wrestle, and it's that great illustration of the dark and the light,
Yes.
and there's this gray area.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Yeah.
I do want to know what happened really preceding, Luke getting in that collapsing hut or whatever. Like, what did Kylo Ren really just go straight up and kill some younglings, or what happened there? I want to know exactly what happened.
that's
I
the
don't think
implication.
we'll ever know.
You don't think
I mean,
so?
you see all the
No.
dead bodies all
Okay,
around.
so what
and
happened to
everything.
the other students he took with him?
He probably killed them.
Think so? I don't know because
It might get revealed that there
because
are some
remember-
who have left.
Rey in Force Awakens had a vision where she saw Kylo Ren standing with a
With
bunch
others,
of
yeah.
other people. So I think they'll probably come.
Either
into play.
Kylo killed him or Snoke killed him.
And where did Snoke come from?
See, but for me, those sorts of questions don't need to be answered.
But I want to know because Luke was like, Snoke got to him. And I was like, but when? Was he part of Luke's Jedi training?
And they very pointedly used the Emperor's theme in the music.
Oh, did they?
You
I
can
didn't
hear the
realize
music in that end when Snoke dies. You can hear the Emperor's theme very, very strongly.
Yeah.
So I kind of go, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. But then so the other question, who's Snoke? We don't really know, to be honest.
I don't think we'll ever know.
In half.
He's dead at this point.
But
so.
then the big question is, who are Rey's parents? And the answer is
nobody.
No, I'm calling. Might still be withholding
No,
information.
because
from
he
her.
says that she already knew. He says, "You already know. Say it. Say it."
He's trying to manipulate her. Was
I
the
don't
feeling
think
that
so.
I
You
got.
think he's gaslighting?
I think he's
not
gaslighting.
trumping. No, he's not.
I don't think so.
Kylo
And this
Ren
was my
wouldn't do
hope:
that.
is that she doesn't come from some important lineage. She just is force sensitive, and very force sensitive. Obviously, very powerful. And I like that. I didn't want her to be a Kenobi or a Skywalker. I wanted her to be just someone who gets pulled into this because the Force is willing it.
But were you so afraid that when he's like, you know who your parents are, say it, that she was going to be like, you're my brother?
I know. Oh,
I was
God.
like, don't do
I was
it,
like,
don't do
please
it, don't
Or
do
when
it,
she was
don't do
touching
it.
the little thing and the thing was coming into focus, I was like, it's going to be Han and Leia. And the fact that it
But when
wasn't.
it was out of focus, it looked kind of like Kylo Ren coming to the
See, I
scene. That
think-
was what
too.
was kind of cool.
I am your father.
I created you.
But I like that. And what he says, where your parents they sold you for drinking money.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I will remain skeptical on the issue
I
of Rey's
want
parentage.
We've got another episode, so we'll see.
I want to accept it because I think that makes her more interesting.
But where did Anakin come from?
He just became.
Exactly. Same. It could
Yeah,
be,
but he was like made by
That- I know,
by
that-
The
Darth
midi-chlorian.
Plagueis.
I don't want to talk about that.
No. They did make their first prequel reference in this show. The other one did not reference
Darth Sidious,
anything.
yeah.
Darth Sidious.
Which
they
was,
did.
and it's nice. I kind of enjoyed that they're trying to tie that canon in a little bit closer, just to say,
I think-
don't shun these. They're not
They
entirely shun-worthy.
And that's what I agree, is that they're there. They're a part of the story. Don't cut them out. They are not the strongest part of the story,
Warts and all.
obviously.
Warts
but
and
yeah,
all.
but they're there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so where do you guys think this is going now? Okay, because obviously it's
There
different.
are so many possibilities for this. Let's talk about Benicio del Toro's character, for example. There's an interesting thread to follow.
I was going to mention something that I liked about this movie, and that is there was zero redemption. He did not somehow show up at the end and save everybody.
I even
He
said that. I
just,
even nudged you when the walkers were going nuts shooting everybody.
that was him.
I thought that was DJ. And then it was BB-8.
yeah. It's like, no, and so I liked the fact that he was a completely ambiguous character, and he didn't see anything as good or bad. Like how he shows
It's all
the
just a
fact
machine.
that these guys are selling
Yeah.
to the good guys
that's
and to
an
the bad
interesting
guys.
thread going forward.
Yes.
How is he going to play into the
See-
First Order's hands?
That was honestly the whole Finn and Rose's arc, trying to get the super hacker, code breaker, whatever it was. That was the weak point of the movie for me. That was it, and it was good to see. Like, it was good for Rose, because Rose was raised as a peasant and then joined the First Order, and we don't really have a lot of backstory.
Yeah.
Not First Order, Resistance. We don't have a lot of backstory for that, because we have Finn, who was a stormtrooper. We have Poe, who I guess was a soldier, always is a soldier.
Good
I don't know.
pilot.
I don't know, but it's true. Like, the First Order has done some terrible things, and look what it's done for the galactic economy.
Yeah.
These people are not good people. So that was good, but I don't know. It felt a little superfluous. I think they could have done things a little bit better that way.
A little bit quicker.
yeah.
Like what Andrew said about trimming some time.
Yeah.
There's some
That would have been a
scenes-
good place to
I was
trim.
trying to think, though, where would I trim scenes, and I'm still not quite sure. Because, I mean, there was some things that appear on their surface to be jokes. Like the little guy putting the coins inside
Yeah,
BB-8.
that then ended up getting
and I'm
used,
like,
yeah.
this is so stupid. Why is this even here? And then that
And then
pays
he
off
shoots them
later
off, like,
because they
yeah.
need that so they can escape.
If Benicio del Toro's character doesn't show up again, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I
Very
think he
much,
was a
very
good.
much.
We got a good kiss of a character. I'd like to see more. I loved his perspective that things weren't. It's not black and white. These people. Yeah, they've enriched themselves off
Again,
of both
that-
sides.
that theme of the gray area
Yeah.
in between the dark and the light.
And that's why I don't know where this is gonna go, because in the first three episodes, the prequels, right, it was very much this is how the dark side is formed, and then in the original trilogy, it was this is very much how the light side wins. But in this trilogy, it's very much
it's complicated.
it's very complicated.
Yeah.
There's so much gray, and it's fascinating. So I don't know where it's gonna go. I think we're gonna see. Here's what I think is gonna happen in the next one. I don't know if this is gonna play out, but the Resistance will build, right? They're gonna go out and they're gonna find stuff. I really don't know what's gonna happen with Carrie Fisher.
No, because they didn't.
No.
They didn't
No.
take her
When
character out of the
when I
mix.
saw
Anything.
when I saw her in space, I was like, oh my gosh, my heart. I was like, this is her last shot. This was it. And all of a sudden, she could hit the Force.
Which was
great.
pretty awesome because
Which
it shows
was
how
great.
powerful she is. She was in space, and she was able to
They
save
always
herself.
said that
yeah.
she was more powerful than Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We now have something completely fresh to look
Finally.
forward to, where we don't know where anything is going. We don't have any clue. There's no clue. Where before you'd
Well,
say,
this
okay,
movie
well,
was still pretty much you don't know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. It spun everything completely
but
around.
going into it, there are certain things you could expect.
But now the
after
base,
the other one.
the
yeah.
base of the whole thing is completely reset.
Yeah, it's like you knew, okay, well, there's going to be a confrontation between Kylo and Luke. There's going to be this, there's going to be that. There were certain things you kind of think of.
Yeah.
Now, there's none of that. You can't look at this one and go, oh, well, there's going to be a confrontation between Rey and Kylo, because there very well might not be. It might not matter.
They
It
had
might
a
be
real
totally
connection.
different. Yes. So it might be something completely different, because you can still see that Kylo is not.
He's not a bad
He's
guy.
not fully
He's
evil.
not. He's not like you could hate Darth Vader in those early.
you could.
early ones, or hate the Emperor. You know, he's not like that, or hate Snoke.
Yeah.
He's not like that at all. You see the goodness, and Adam Driver, to his credit, does such a phenomenal job at playing that
a great
line.
actor.
Okay, I will. Here at the end, I will go out on a limb and say one thing that I do predict for the next movie. I predict that there will be a civil war amongst the
Captain
First
America.
Order. Is that
no, not that?
is that there will be a split in the First Order? People who follow Kylo Ren, people who follow Hux.
You think that there will be a
Oh.
split
I think
in the
that there will
First
be a split, and I
Order?
think that
I
will
like
be
that.
where the empire, or where the rebellion.
Because I had this
can come in.
notion that there may be a split in the rebellion.
No, I think there will
No,
be
they
a
seem
split.
pretty united. There's only
Yeah.
like 20 of them.
In closing, I agree with you, Zach. The more we talk about it, the more that I am enjoying this movie.
I want to go see it right now.
I do want to go see it right now as well. So you guys go and see it and enjoy it. Give us your comments, because obviously if you've watched to the end, you've seen the movie, or you're an idiot.
What'd you think of the post-credit scene with Nick Fury coming out?
I was going to say, when we were walking out, because we honestly don't talk after we see the movie. We wait to come back here.
Not at all.
So we did not share anything, which there's nothing more awkward than walking out of a movie theater with your friends and not being able to talk about the movie you just saw.
Yeah.
So we don't talk about these things. But when we were walking out, I turned to Andrew and I said, we should stay for the post-credit scene where Thanos walks in with the Infinity Gauntlet and makes everything one universe with the X-Men and everything now, because Disney owns the world.
And
So
Deadpool
that's it.
just turns to the camera and he's like, and that's it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, give us your comments and watch Geek and share this out. And we want to we want to be a part of your lives. So
Oh gosh, I'm excited for episode 9 now.
yeah, a couple years, 2 years is all. 2 years. All right. Well, I'm Steve.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Cippy.
All right, and we are Geek.